Live and pre-recorded. This is the Red Ticket Blues podcast. I am Brian Buckley. This is being recorded on January 31st to hit the internet on February 1st, 2016, the year of our Lord. How's everybody doing? You can always listen to the show on iTunes, TuneIn Radio, Stitcher, YouTube, and follow me on Twitter at Red Ticket Blues and at BrianBuck13. So, yes, it is a Monday podcast. A Monday podcast. Is your mind blown yet? Can you even deal with it? Deal with it. Bill Simmons, Bill Burr, I know you guys come out on Monday, but I don't care. I'll head up on this. I don't give a shit. But I'm actually doing this on a Monday as, I have the guest for this week, and we're doing it on Monday. So, doing it a day early and stretching things out a little bit. So, here I am on a Monday, getting you the sports. Now, I tried to do everything I possibly could, like some people. I was very sick this week from my adventures in New York City last year in the middle of a blizzard. I missed work. I was just feeling terrible, downing the antihistamines like just an insane person. But you know what I did? I tried to get you the sports any way that I could. Within reason. But I got you the sport. So today we'll discuss the Super Bowl. Has anyone heard the comments from Cam Newton? Does anyone have a take on it? Oh, you better believe I do. What else will we talk about? We'll get into a little bit of former rappers. They need your help. They want to make music for you. They need your help. So come on, help them out. I will not be helping them out. Other NFL news. People are leaving. People are trying to get back into the league. Also in MLB. Some people's personal lives are being thrown out there, like Matt Harvey. Is that wrong? Is he not a human? Is he not allowed to do whatever he wants? That's true. I mean, I'll give you that. While I was sick, I got into some new television programs because everyone likes hearing about the television I watch, right? Everyone's like, oh God, really? Do we have to listen to that? So let's start it off with this. Carolina Panthers quarterback Cam Newton. Before we even got to Santa Clara, San Francisco, in Carolina, he made this statement that set the world on fire.
I said it since day one. I'm an African-American quarterback that may scare a lot of people because they haven't seen nothing that they can compare me to.
So there you have it. That is the statement that got everything rolling, that the world is afraid of Cam Newton because he celebrates. And because he's black and he celebrates and his whole demeanor, his mannerisms, we're afraid of that. I mean, I go to bed every night making sure my doors are locked because Cam Newton's, dancing in the end zone. I swear do you guys hear that? That is the noises from the people above me. They're having a party. Let me say something. When I go to a party, we sit around, we have drinks, we laugh, we have fun. They have a pastime of just moving furniture and dropping things. I don't know if that's a thing of theirs. And I want to say, I don't care if they hear me, but obviously I'm whispering for a reason. But if you hear just loud noises and things being moved around, that is them. And anyway, so Cam Newton. Now, if you listen to this podcast, you've heard me talk about Cam Newton before. Now, I did say Cam Newton would take it to a different level this year, and the Carolina Panthers would be an excellent football team. I said that in like week 1, week 2. So after I'm done patting myself on the back, I'll get back to you. Good. You did a great job. Just keep it up. Great job. Very proud of you. All right. So here we are. You know what I think about Cam Newton. Great player. Hams it up. That's where I think we stand. So I, for the longest time, have always thought there are more Cam Newton defenders against the haters than actual haters. Now, I talked to some people on Twitter. Twitter, I know, breaking news. I talk to people on a social media site where you interact with people. So I got you the sports any way that I could. I went right to Twitter. And a lot of people have said, you know what? It has a lot to do with your geographical location. Maybe because I live in a liberal area like New England. They're always voting for a Democrat when it comes to presidents. So maybe that has something to do with it. Maybe I live above the Mason-Dixon line. I know the world is different there. You go down that East Coast, you get to Washington, D.C. after that. You're looking at a different world, and I understand that. Here's the thing, though. We've had black quarterbacks in the Super Bowl this will make the 4th year in a row. Russell Wilson twice, Colin Kaepernick before him, and Cam Newton, obviously, this year. It's almost like an insult from Cam Newton to say that the world is afraid of him or because he's black. What is Russell Wilson? What is Colin Kaepernick? Now, this identity of being black, and maybe some people are, Brian, watch it. Come on, you're a white guy from Connecticut. toe the line. But here's the thing. The people that dislike Cam Newton because he's black, well, put it this way. The people that dislike Cam Newton because he's black, they didn't like Russell Wilson because he was black. They didn't like Colin Kaepernick because he had black ancestry. Here's the thing. Most people that don't like Cam Newton, it's because he's a hot dog. Can we just say that? He's a showboater. And he's 15-1. Well, the regular side, how many games they play? 17-1. He can kind of do what he wants right now. That doesn't make it right. Do you want me to sit there and wave pom-poms for him and go, boy, he is just having fun. He should be allowed to. He should be allowed to do whatever he wants because he wins. It's hard to stop somebody when they do that, when they're winning all the time. How can you stop them and say, hey, you can't act like that. Why? We're winning every game. You can tell that people on his team don't like it in certain situations. You've seen it, but they'll never say that in the media. Only on Red Ticket Blues, and maybe other sites too. Other teams don't like it, and those guys happen to be black. Like, it's Charles Barkley was on, I think he was on Dan Patrick, but he's also on the Bill Simmons podcast last week, and he said, you see ESPN and these talk shows, and they're already starting this narrative of good versus evil, black versus white, and that's what they have to do. Okay, and now I understand Cam Newton talked about it and said, the world is afraid of me, the football viewing world is afraid of me because I am a black person that they have never seen before. I'm an African-American quarterback that they've never seen before. I understand he opened that up, but let me tell you something. Did we talk about black quarterbacks last year, Russell Wilson? Did we talk about black quarterbacks the year before that with Russell Wilson? Did we talk about black quarterbacks with Colin Kaepernick? Kind of. We got to be fair there. There was the kissing of the bicep. There was there's more the tattoos than anything. Now, you want to talk about celebrations, choreographed celebrations. I don't give a shit what your color is. If you listen to this podcast before, and I know you all have, so I'm speaking to the world here, I hate choreographed celebrations. They're ridiculous. I don't care what color you are. If your name is Aaron Rodgers, I don't have that big of a deal with the Gronkowski. All he's doing is spiking the ball. But guys, like, if you're Colin Kaepernick, if you're a closer in MLB, there always has to be some routine, except if your name is Mariano Rivera. I don't care who you are. Choreographed celebrations are the stupidest thing I've ever seen. It's in the WWE. Oh my God, that's the leg. That's got to be Sting. That's a leg drop. This is it's the Stinger Splash. They have moves, all right? We call them that. They're moves that do nothing, like celebrations in the NFL. Now, Cam Newton's taken it to a new level. Don't get me wrong. He almost has like a 4-part ensemble. He points, he dabs, he gives the ball to the kids, which is nice. He gives the ball, which is nice, but there's other parts to it too. I'm not getting into it all, but I really don't know what Cam Newton's motivation here was. Maybe he just didn't want to hear the entire media slurping over Peyton Manning for 2 weeks. And listen, it's spiced it up. I still think it's a ridiculous narrative. But, Cam has demons, all right? He's probably got a big chip on his shoulder, and a lot of it is his own fault. I mean, stealing quarterbacks. He was a backup quarterback. He was stealing computers. And University of Florida got kicked off the team. Was very humbled when he was sent to that small school. I forget the name of Blythe College, a small school in the South. I mean, Dan Wetzel from Yahoo Sports had a great article about it. And then all the stuff that happened at Auburn. I mean, his father shopped him around. I mean, he got a lot of controversy. It was in the eye. A lot of people were doubting him. But, a lot of that he brought on himself. But I get the world's trying to keep me down. I get it. But I think for what we have to see is, Cam Newton, you're a hot dog. And now, here's one thing. I want to see Peyton Manning win because he's Peyton Manning. But I also want to see, if Peyton Manning wins, how Cam Newton handles it. This is the Super Bowl, all right? There's going to be a lot of casual fans or not even fans, that are seeing Cam Newton for the first time. To football fans, we all know who he is. We're going to be seeing, some people may be seeing for the first time. How does he handle it? Does he walk off the field? Does he refuse to speak to the media? There's plenty of arrogant athletes that have done that before. Will Cam be respectful? Will he do everything the right way? He's a sore winner. Will he be a sore loser? Hot takes. Lukewarm, maybe. But again, these racists who hate, and he probably did hear a lot of that shit. He was a black quarterback who smiled, who laughed, who danced in the South. All right? Probably some of those people also think Obama's trying to steal their guns. He's probably trying to, those same people, let's be honest, those same people are so outraged, so furious about guns being registered. How many of them are outside the DMV pissed off that their car has to be registered? You ain't making me register my car. This is my Ford. Where are those people? I don't know. It's odd. Well, it doesn't say in the Constitution anything about a car. Guess because they weren't invented yet. But you know, some person would say that. It says Second Amendment, right to bear arms. You got to come back for that? Didn't think so. It's colors don't run. Cars weren't invented yet. You fucking idiot. Anyways, let's move on from that. The point spread's 6 points right now. And, you know, if you heard the podcast last time, Greg Doyle, who's a fan of Peyton Manning, he looked at it and said, you know, rooting with your head, it's going to be rough. It's going to be very rough. You hope Peyton will just do what he's been doing and not make mistakes. Make the right passes. Let the running game do what they do and let the defense do what they do. Be amazing, like they always are. They got to, you know, it would be wonderful for the Broncos if they jumped out to that lead in the beginning, like they did against the Patriots, just sort of set the tone. Because Carolina, as you've seen in these first few games, once they get rolling, they are a runaway locomotive that you cannot stop. Well, you can stop, but you won't overtake them. Do you hear the banging? Maybe I'm just nuts with this. Jumping up and down like a fucking gymnasium. All right, so staying in the NFL, breaking news. Well, it's not really breaking, Brian, if you're releasing it tomorrow, but Calvin Johnson has called it a career. Yes, Calvin Johnson, who is 30 years old, who will be 31 when the 2016 season has retired. Retiring after 9 seasons. Now, no, he hasn't made any comments as to, or if he has that I don't know about them, Red Ticket Blues. He hasn't said them, but it doesn't seem to be any motivation other than, you know, he doesn't want to play anymore. It could have to do with, hey, I've made my money, I play on a shitty team, and I want to be like Barry. That's going to be the hot take. Oh, damn it. I got to get typing. He is Barry Sanders. The losing got to him in Detroit. He was one of the game's greatest, but he decided to call it all quits. The losing, he couldn't overbear. And scene. But he is 43rd all-time in catches, 27th all-time in receiving yards, and 22nd all-time in touchdown catches, and he's only 30. Does it have to do with concussions? Hey, maybe he's a smart guy saying, I've made more than enough goddamn money. I'd like to leave with my brain intact. You know who doesn't like hearing this? The NFL. They don't like their stars leaving early, especially if he comes out and says something about it. CTE, CTE. And then you hear people saying, I wonder if OJ has CTE. Who gives a shit? Does that mean now we're just going to play this game anytime an NFL guy does something stupid? So we're going to have to say, oh, I wonder if he has CTE. He must have CTE, did something dumb, right? Just like the Giants, Jay Bromley, investigated for the defensive tackle. Jay Bromley for the New York Giants was arrested for accusation of attempted rape, and then he ran the lady over with his car. Sweet guy. Wow. I hope he calls back. But what a piece of shit, huh? He wanted to have sex with her. She said no. All right, let me drive you home. Get the hell out of my car. Let me run you over. I mean, I shouldn't even be saying this in like a laughing manner, but I mean, what a monster. What's your end game there? Like, you've already done something heinous. And she wants to be driven home. You know what? Yeah, she disrespected me. I'm Jay Bromley. I'm going to run her over with my car. Yeah, that'll show her. Yeah, that's right. I hope but the Giants have not cut him yet because he's being accused, but I have a feeling, if any of that is true, Jay Bromley will no longer be with the Giants. And then Roger Goodell will suspend him for 5,000 games and it'll be reduced to 2. But Calvin Johnson, the NFL does not like seeing star players. And if he comes out and says something about concussions, ooh, baby. You saw concussions were raised. They spiked this year. The reported concussions. In defense of the NFL, they're never going to get that completely right because guys are not going to be like, oh, excuse me, coach. It's like that commercial where the guy said, the sportsman commercial where the guy, the teammate stuff. Coach, I touched it. Teamwork. Like he's going to say, Coach, I got a concussion. You're not going to see that. Guys need money. They want to play. Saying a concussion is like, oh, that's nice. Apparently you wear a skirt and you can't play. I mean, that's from the NFL mentality. So staying in the NFL real quick, I even hate talking about it, but it is a story. And that is Mr. Johnny Manziel. He used to think the partying stuff was cool, was funny. I never really thought anything about him was appealing. A lot of people just thought, oh, cool, he plays football, he's a frat bro. Everything is awesome about that guy. I want to party with him. The last thing I want to do is party with Johnny Manziel. He was investigated for an incident with his girlfriend. Alleged assault. There's so many unanswered questions about this, but it looks like Dallas-Fort Worth Telegram, no, just the Fort Worth Telegram, excuse me. Fort Worth, Texas police used a helicopter to look for Johnny Manziel after the incident took place. His girlfriend was worried about his well-being. Now, I hope the next time, not the next time, it's not that it's happened once, and it won't happen again, or at all. I hope someone, when they say, I'm worried about Brian's well-being, they get a helicopter looking for me. The police said that it has nothing to do with Johnny Manziel's status as a sports and public figure. It's completely within their guidelines to use their helicopter for people, who are, their well-being might not be good. That is a broad term, well-being, and it's completely within the guidelines. Helicopters flying around all the time. Why not? Yeah. So that's the NFL. We're going to be saying goodbye to it soon. The NFL, we got a little taste of it. College basketball is back. Did you watch that? College basketball this weekend with Oklahoma versus LSU. Ben Simmons, where art thou in the last 5 minutes? LSU superstar, probably number one pick. Nowhere to be seen. Wasn't even calling for the ball. And Buddy Hield was Buddy Hield. The guy can ball. And then you get Kentucky and Kansas with another great game, which went down to overtime. And Kansas pulled that out. Kansas, I think we're coming for a collision course with the two Big 12 teams in the finals, if it works out that way, obviously. And Kansas and Oklahoma, I have not seen any team that really impresses me as much as either of those teams. There's something about Kansas. They have a well-oiled machine, as you can now in college basketball. It's very difficult. Oklahoma, you got you got Tristan Cousins, is that the name? And that Spangler guy, and obviously Buddy Hield. But anyways, so I was sick this week. That's right, I was talking about that. And I was watching a lot of television. A lot of antihistamines, a lot of sneezing. I actually went to work. One a day shouldn't have gone. Just the watery eyes, everything. It was just terrible. It was terrible. But I did get to indulge in a lot of new television, and that's on Netflix. And I got into a lot of the limey shows. Yes, British shows, because they're season. I like to binge watch. My wife and I love to binge watch. And she got sick too, by the way. Friend of the podcast. Appearance on the podcast. We watched a lot of shows. There was one show, River. That was a very good one. I recommend that. He's a detective. He sort of talks to dead people. I know that sounds silly. Very good show. But what I was saying is we like to binge watch, and their seasons are much shorter. Like 4 episodes, 6 episodes. It's good. I like it. What was the other one? The next one was Happy Valley. And that was girl gets kidnapped. And it was a pretty harrowing tale. And I said to my wife, I don't want to get kidnapped. And she said, babe, I don't think you have to worry about that. You're not that much of an attractive kidnapping candidate. I said, that's terrible. Why would you say that? Well, you're a man. We don't have a lot of money. And there's not a lot of redeeming qualities for you. You're not kidnapping material. And so I want you to, it took me a while to come to grips with it. So I want you to look in the mirror right now. Get a mirror. Just get your phone. Get the camera. Look at it. You got it? Say it. I am not kidnapping material. I think it's easier when you just admit it and you just come to terms with it that you're not an attractive candidate for being kidnapped. And then the other one we're watching right now, what is it? Broadchurch. That's a good one. I recommend all. Normally, I don't like it. The accents get in the way. You can understand most of it. I mean, I know something like Peaky Blinders. You need the subtitles. It's like 1800 Old English. It's got to get to it. But I suggest everyone checks it out. Oh, by the way, before we leave the NFL, Greg Hardy. Hey, how about that Greg Hardy? The NFL, well, he didn't do anything wrong, but the Cowboys want to get rid of him. They don't like him anymore. He's been partying too much, and they're sick and tired of it. They are sick and tired of his partying. Because you know what? Partying is disgusting, even though they're looking to sign Johnny Manziel. But partying is disgusting. Now, beating women, throwing them on futons full of automatic weapons, that's completely acceptable in Dallas Cowboy land. Jerry Jones approves of that. He doesn't. I'll stop short of saying he encourages it. But he's not a big fan of partying. Well, not from the pictures I've seen. Deadspin. Jerry Jones is a big partier, but he doesn't play in the field. Anyway, so maybe Greg Hardy, we can go through all that drama again next year. Well, who signs him? What kind of ethics there? He's a monster. When will he... Because these stories just repeat themselves. Speaking of stories that repeat themselves, how about Gilbert Arenas, huh? Gilbert Arenas, who, let's be honest, has been blackballed by the NBA after his gun incident with Javaris Crittenden. Is that his name? I think Javaris Crittenden is in jail now for murder, so they're both doing great. There was an incident at a strip club involving Gilbert Arenas, because that's what he does now with all his money. And something happened where he got very angry at the strip club. Something happened where he lost money I don't know who wins money at a strip club other than the strippers. And what happened exactly was, he was kicked out of the strip club. Perish the thought. Gilbert Arenas was not allowed in that strip club. They say, "Sir, we don't need your services anymore." So what did he do? He wrote just a perfectly worded letter. No, that's not true. He went on Instagram, because that's what you do when you get mad at strip clubs. You go on Instagram. Everybody does it. He said, "You kick me out of your strip club, you getting robbed." Well, there you go from the beginning. You can take that several different ways. Is he going to rob the strip club? Who is he, like Omar from The Wire? I know we all thinking, soft ass ain't robbing nobody. I would like to inform all the big ballers out there, I'm the reason big strip clubs, #fingerprint now. Ha ha. So, all the pimps, prostitutes, lonely men, Pac-Man Jones, strip clubs are fingerprint. You have to put is that what that means? You have to put a fingerprint down now? Wow. What a claim. Good job, Gilbert. You really did it. I'll order $80,000 worth of ones, throw about 40,000 of it to the stripper, sneak the rest out of the club, have one of my teammates sign that bill, wake up the next day, call American Express, and my card was stolen at the strip club last night, and these charges ain't mines, with a no questions asked policy. Once they see it's not your signature, refund all your money back. LMAO. So I got the 80,000 I spent back, plus the 40,000 I took out the strip club. # ain't no trickin'. I think it's supposed to say bitch, but he didn't spell it right. So when you're involved in crimes and fraud, you like to admit it on the internet, and especially when you have a large following, because you're a former NBA player. And, some people took notice, including American Express. Hip Hollywood has learned exclusively that disgraced NBA star Gilbert Arenas is now under investigation by a fraud department after bragging online about operating a credit card scam. Spokesman from American Express tells us that they're aware of Agent Zero's incriminating Instagram posts and are looking at it. And Yahoo has a great last line here. It says, "A massive credit card company versus Gilbert Arenas. There are no winners." Gilbert Arenas is a guy who brought a gun to the locker room, like I said earlier, with Javaris Crittenden, and asked him to sort of play Russian roulette, like shoot me or something like that. I don't. And then he had no remorse whatsoever. And then pregame stuff with the fingers as the guns. I don't get it. People with choreographed dances, again, gun stuff, Johnny Manziel, Cam Newton, Aaron Rodgers, I don't care who your name is. Black, white, purple, pink, I don't give a shit. It's stupid. Old man doesn't like celebrations. Yeah, because that's the only comeback you have. Because, okay. Who am I fighting with? I'm fighting with a microphone that I'm just looking at. Whew. Okay, let's get back to reality, Brian. So Gilbert Arenas continues. All right, Gilbert, all right. See, the Sixers almost beat the Warriors the other night. That's some topsy-turvy shit. What else? Matt Harvey went on some show that no one watches on Bravo with Connie Chung and said that he's been involved in threesomes and wears women's deodorant. Now, I don't care. I'm not going to criticize him, but he's not, because he's allowed to do whatever he wants, dude. You're single, you're young, you're a handsome man in New York City with plenty of money and fame. You are allowed to do whatever you want, but he's just so cool. I mean, the guy is dripping with just coolness because he has to go on television and talk about. He's like Jeter, but he talks. That's instantly what he's become. He's involved with all the douchey stuff. He does stupid commercials they have an element of douche to it. He's involved with ladies, but again, he does this like alternative stuff where you'd see him, but Jeter never talked about it. And now there's rumors. We all know the gift baskets. We know the third person Jeets. But Harvey's almost just like, I'm Jeter, and but with the mouth, basically. I don't know. I'm not going to get too upset about it. Matt Harvey, he can do whatever he wants. I just find an element of douche to it. That's all I say. And then speaking of retiring in the MLB, Andrew Jones, former Yankee, former everyone, call it a career, man. I did not even know he was still involved in anything. I guess he was playing in Japan the past few years. He hasn't played in the big since 2012, and I think that was with the Yankees. He had 2 productive seasons in Japan. 50 home runs, and I guess is that good? 50 home runs with an OPB of 390 during that stretch. I don't know how many games they play. Didn't sound that great. I guess it sounds okay. I was hoping for one last shot, but he's saying it's over. Now, talk about a guy that he still had a very good career. I think injuries played a part. He got fat too. I mean, he's on that Eddie Lacy diet, which is everything. It took a toll on him. I mean, the saddest thing is too. Again, he still had a very successful career, not Hall of Fame, but the saddest thing is he never peaked after 19 years old, hitting those 2 home runs with the Braves in the '96 World Series. And he had such a, you know what it was back then too? I used to think he had such a shit-eating grin on his face when he hit those home runs. But then you see him play throughout his entire career, he always had that stupid grin, even when he was striking out. So, goodbye, Andrew Jones. Your time has come. So we say goodbye to that. I'm looking forward to baseball this year. I don't know. I'm always looking forward to baseball. Looking forward to college basketball. It's starting to heat up. UConn stinks. I think they beat University of Central Florida today. So there's that. And they lost that heartbreaker the other night. Who the hell did they lose to? Is it Cincinnati? Yeah, Cincinnati. The coach looks like my doctor. Because you can all relate to that, right? Oh, Brian's doctor, right? Yeah. They're still jumping around like it's I don't understand. I guess we'll end it here. I'm rambling at this point. Yeah, we're at 26 minutes, 27, 28. All right, so I wanted to end it with if you're an old band, if you are been around for a while, I'm not talking Methuselah, I'm not talking Depression, Roaring 20s. I'm talking my age, 30s, 20s. You know the rap group Naughty by Nature, and they pretty. I don't want to say they're average, but I mean. They had a bunch of summer hits, summer anthems. You'd hear them everywhere. Hip Hop Hooray, OPP. What's the other one I'm missing? Another summer one that, I probably played in my headphones on my bike all the time and thought I was really cool, hip, growing up in Connecticut, when I was really urban and when I was last thing from urban. But long story short, they're celebrating 25 years in the game. And the rap game, that's a long time, even though they really haven't been present in it very long. But they've had, they collaborate with a lot of people, The Roots, Queen Latifah, be that as it may, they want to include you. So they have this nice video. They want to include you in the new album. And you know how you're included? By giving them money. They're looking for $100,000 by February 28th, okay? $100,000 to get that track done and get it out to you. And they have this video, which is, listen, I have nothing against those guys. I don't know them. I still don't have anything against them. It's kind of pathetic. It's just, we're victims of technology. And I get that as an artist that it's going to happen, but stop. So is everyone. So as of right now, and I think it just went up actually before I started the podcast, it was at 134 backers, not 135. So they're looking for $100,000. How much are you willing to spend? There's 28 days to go. They need $100,000. They are slightly short. They have $5,976. So, about $94,000 to go. I hope some of you have $94,000 you'd like to lend. Just, I don't think you'll get it. I don't know if there's any rights to it where you get some sort of, royalties on it, like Shark Tank, whatever. We should bring Naughty by Nature into a Shark Tank thing. And show me your hits. Have them do a concert and then just pass on all of it. How fucked up would that be? Anyways, that's a podcast this week. Again, it's on a Monday. I hope everyone enjoyed it. Remember, you can, before I even get into my spiel, I have a new feature here. It doesn't cost you anything. Oh, here we go. He wants money. I knew it wouldn't be long. No. It's a feature. If you're going to go to the site, just go to redticketblues.com, click the About Me page, and before you even read anything, there is a Amazon banner there. So for all Amazon customers, just click on that link. When you're going to buy something, boom, they kick something back to me. That's it. That's all. So you're going to go to that About Me page, you're going to bookmark it, and then you're going to order stuff because everyone likes ordering things and getting things in the mail, and you want drones to bring it to you, and I want the goddamn money. No, I'm just saying, everyone likes stuff to be delivered. And if you use Amazon, go for it. If you don't, I don't care. That's fine. And just do it, though. Forget eBay. They don't exist anymore. Unless you're buying stuff from me. Check out my name. Yeah. But just remember that I really appreciate it. Anyone who listens to the podcast, again, doesn't cost you anything. Remember, you can always listen to the show on iTunes, TuneIn, Radio, Stitcher, YouTube, and follow me on Twitter at Red Ticket Blues and at BrianBuck13. Like the show on Facebook. And remember to leave a review and ratings. People have been leaving reviews, and I appreciate it. It helps the show. It gets more exposure, and the downloads are doing great. I really appreciate everyone. And I will speak to you on Thursday with a guest from the college basketball world. If you read stuff about college basketball, you're going to know this person. So with all that being said, I'm out of here.